Now on Sydney's 2UE, 4BC and stations across Australia. New Day Australia with Troy Dodds.
Yeah, and just repeating that breaking news, another hostage has run from the scene at the Lindt Cafe. Unbelievable scenes as we see him. He just fell to the ground. Police had then gone to him and then helped him up and taken him through. Let's go to Leonie Ryan, who's on the scene there in the Sydney CBD. Leonie, what can you tell us?
Hi, Troy. Yeah, my heart is absolutely racing at the moment. We've been waiting here for a number of hours where we haven't seen any movement since mid-yesterday afternoon. Now, all of a sudden, we heard these large bang noises coming from the hostage situation. There certainly weren't, it wasn't gunfire. There was talk that it could be a smoke bomb, but we're now hearing on the ground that it was just simply the side door of the cafe just slamming open and just slamming against that wall. Now, as you reported, we're hearing at least one man has fled from that hostage situation within the Lindt Cafe. We're hearing possibly more. From what we can see here, those tactical police, they were screaming and simply went to the man onto the ground. They had their weapons drawn, but this is certainly an ongoing situation. But if there are more hostages being released, definitely good news.
Yeah, and this is, as you say, this is the first development really for several hours, really, since yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely, Troy. And I guess that really explains why my heart's beating so fast at the moment, because this has really caught us really off guard. We just heard the tactical police where they're armed with this tactical gear with their guns drawn, simply screaming out. And we just looked out and we're standing on the poles here to see at least one man run out of the cafe. Hopefully more hostages. If we can only get one confirmation, that's 6 people so far out of the cafe, but hopefully more of those hostages can leave the cafe.
Leonie, we've just seen some vision. We've just seen some vision on Channel 9. There was a number of other hostages as well who have run from the scene. So there's definitely the man who ran in the white shirt and a group, about 4 or 5 as well. Yeah,
that's fantastic news, Troy. So I guess we're hearing unconfirmed reports, maybe about 10 or so people still holed up in that cafe with this alleged gunman, identified as Sheikh Man Monis. No doubt we're looking at the police at the moment. They're still at the doors at the Lindt Cafe, so hopefully there'll be a speedy resolution to this very shortly.
All right, thank you, Leonie. We'll come back to you as news breaks through the morning.
Thanks, Troy.
Leonie Ryan there, and we appreciate Leonie for joining us there. That breaking story. So this is quite incredible. The vision that we're seeing of looked like a large group ran free, and then the one man. Now we're not sure if there are still hostages inside. We just know that there's a number of hostages there at the moment. So we are watching this unfold. That was just happened there during the 2 o'clock news bulletin. A group ran out first. I'm just trying to see exactly how many. Looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there's at least five in that group, and then the man has come out as well. And that man dropped to the ground, and then police ran to him and assisted him up and then have taken him away. So we're not sure if there are still hostages inside, or if that is all of the hostages. It doesn't look like it would be, because we were talking that there was around 15 potentially still in there. But some quite incredible scenes at 2 o'clock in the morning in central Sydney of these hostages running from the Lindt Chocolate Cafe. So this is the first development we've had for some time. We saw yesterday, of course, 5 people escape from this. Originally 3 men, they escaped, and then 2 women. But that was very late yesterday afternoon, and we haven't really had any development since then at all. And as Leonie says, it's an exciting scene. There's obviously panic on the faces of the hostages as they run out. They all run out with their arms up in the air, and you only see them through the cameras for a fleeting second before they go out of camera shot, and then you see this man who comes with the white shirt and jeans, and he's got his hands up in the air, goes to the ground. Police approach him, and there's 2 police officers that approach him. They help him up, they talk to him, just check him over, and then bring him back into safety. So there you go. We don't know how many exactly are now out, but we do know that there are now more hostages out of this gun situation in Sydney. And of course, also in the last hour, we had the news that Monis was named as the gunman. He's got form. He is on bail on an accessory to murder charge, and he is also been the man at the centre of sending some hate mail to war widows a few years ago. So some pretty significant developments in the last few minutes. 13-13-32 if you'd like to join us. Troy Dodds filling in for Luke Boner this morning. All right, so some pretty significant stories, news developing there. We were, I mentioned just before we went to the news, we were going to take a little bit of a break from all of this and deal with some other issues, but this has now come back into the main focus for us. It's just quite amazing, really, when you think about it. It's 2:00 in the morning in Sydney. It's approaching the 17th hour of this incident. And we're just seeing some more footage now. It looks like we might be seeing some footage of police speaking to some of the hostages. Now, Channel 9 is reporting 11 hostages in total have now left the cafe. So Channel 9 saying 11 hostages. Now, we still don't know because we were never told if what the total number is. That could be all of them. It could be. We don't know. We really don't know what the situation is. We would expect some sort of confirmation or briefing from police shortly, you would imagine. But 13-13-32, if you'd like to join us, we will continue to keep you up to date on this through the morning. But let's go to the phones. Andy. Hi, Andy.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. I just, it sounds good. Things might be progressing there, and I think what our Prime Minister said about for people to get on with our lives and put all this, when it's over, put it all behind us, well and truly behind us, and address the problems that are happening, like something like the environment and everything else.
Yeah, look, Andy, it is important that that we do get on with things. I just thought yesterday that it was a bit early to be getting on with things because the situation wasn't over, and I thought we could have just delayed Joe Hockey's announcement by a day or two.
Yeah, at least it seems like I think they've got it right, and like as far as the situation goes, and yeah, it's not good news anyway as far as the economy goes, and what Joe Hockey is, or our treasurer has come up with as far as debt goes, and it's the first time I've heard that they're getting serious about looking at the interest that's on the deficit as well as paying that, how difficult that is, and the impact it has on our economy.
Yeah, look, it's certainly a big issue, and it's an issue that deserves a lot of coverage, obviously, Andy, and it'll probably come. But I'd say over the next couple of days, we'll mainly be talking about this issue. But thanks very much for your call, Andy. Appreciate it. So just repeating that breaking news, if you've just tuned in or you've been off to get a cup of tea, 11 hostages have now been freed. It would seem both Sky News and Channel 9 believing this. Okay, now we're seeing footage. It would appear, are we seeing footage here of the police going into the cafe? That is what it would be. It appears to be anyway. Let's just go to Sky News for a moment. Okay, you're hearing that noise. That's noise from live from the scene in Sydney. There is flashes going on at the moment. There is police running with appears to be maybe one hostage. And we're just seeing this continue to unfold right now.
Live pictures here on Sky News. Shots have been fired, many shots have been fired into the cafe where a multiple number of hostages remained. You were able to see several hostages.
Okay, so that's Sky News, and they're reporting guns, shots fired there. Let's go back to Leonie Ryan, our 2UE reporter. Leonie, what are you hearing and seeing there?
Hi, Troy. This is an absolutely terrifying situation. You've got members of the public just absolutely ducking for cover. We've got the alarm going off at the moment where we're making the assumption that this siege is over, but obviously we don't want to preempt that. But we have heard dozens of gunshots going off. Absolutely terrifying, Troy, and we're looking at this situation. You could actually see the light from these gunshots within the building going off. At the moment, we can hear screaming. Tactical police are screaming. This operation far from over. But to repeat that, we have heard dozens of gunshots going off, and it's an absolutely terrifying situation. We can see smoke coming from the scene, so not too sure what's happening at this stage, Troy. We're just hoping that these hostages are leaving this Lindt Cafe unharmed.
And in the moments before those shots, Leonie, we saw a group and then another single man come out as well. So it looked like around maybe 6 hostages, so then you count the 5. So 11 out in total, it would seem, and then we don't know what's happened just in the little gap between then.
Yeah, we don't know, Troy. We were hearing unconfirmed reports before this gunfire went off that as many as 7 hostages may have left the Lindt Cafe. And while we're standing here, just dozens of gunfire was just going off. It just illuminated that building of the Lindt Cafe inside there. So police have surrounded the building. The alarms here, you probably can hear them in the background. They're going off. So not too sure what that means at this stage. You can hear it. So gunshots, more gunshots are going off as we speak, Troy. So I'm not too sure what the situation is like at the moment, but it is absolutely terrifying to watch this unfold. And we have members of the public that have been standing for some hours here with the media. When the gunfire was initially going off, they were absolutely ducking for cover and just running away, just completely terrified of this situation that is unfolding.
Was there any sign that this was about to happen, Leonie, or was everything very quiet before we then saw that those hostages run and then the shots be fired?
Look, Troy, it was very quiet. We thought this operation was going to be ongoing. Not too sure how many hostages were being held up in that Lindt Cafe after that 7 was released about 10 minutes ago. So we just thought negotiations were going to continue. So this has caught us off guard. You can just see these people they just shuddered when that gunfire. Nothing really explains when you hear it, Troy. It's just something else.
We're seeing footage here, Leonie. We're just watching via Sky News. It would appear a hostage injured being carried from the scene. Does certainly appear it's a female. She certainly appears that she's in pain, but conscious. So it looks like we have at least one injury coming from this, with the woman being carried now by police rescue officers.
We can't really see where we're at, Troy. All we can see at this stage are police running in and out of that cafe. So where we are at the vantage point where the media has been allowed to set up, we can't actually see that from where we're standing. We can just see a hive of activity, police running in and out of the Lindt Cafe, and no doubt you would be seeing that footage live on TV, that a very heavy police presence just outside the cafe.
And Leonie, this is amazing, isn't it? I mean, it's almost 2:30 in the morning in Sydney, and we're watching this unfold. It's incredible.
It is, and I don't think, I can tell you now, Troy, I don't think I will witness anything like this again in my career. I hope that I don't have to, because I'm completely shaken. Everyone here is completely shaken. This has taken us all off guard. And of course, you just don't expect this to happen in the heart of Sydney at, as you mentioned, 2:30 in the morning.
All right, well, Leonie, we will come back to you. We'll let you go and collect your thoughts and see what you can find out. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thanks, Troy.
That's Leonie Ryan. She's at the scene there. Now, just repeating what I told you there, we saw some vision of what we can only imagine was a hostage, a female hostage, being carried by police rescue officers out of the scene. She appeared conscious, but obviously injured. Now, there's been significant gunfire, as we know, as we heard, thanks to Sky News, and as Leonie reported, significant gunfire that really came out of the blue. We have no idea about if all of the hostages have got out. We just don't know. We do know that just before that the gunshots were heard, we saw a number of hostages run out of the scene at the Lindt Cafe. Now, we're seeing footage now of ambulance stretchers going into the Lindt Cafe. So that would suggest we've got injuries inside the cafe. We're seeing paramedic teams running into the cafe now. Vision of that happening, and just looking through another angle now, we're seeing at least 7, 8 paramedics, at least 2 or 3 beds going into the Lindt Chocolate Cafe. This would suggest that we have injuries inside the cafe. We have no idea about the gunman, Man Monis, and his current situation. We know that there was significant gunfire. and a lot of smoke coming from the Lindt Cafe, as Leone was reporting. Now, Sky News are saying that a number of people have been carried injured from the scene after heavily armed police stormed the cafe. We saw one, but it looks like there might have been others. So, look, in the last hour, just to give you an update on what has happened, we had the naming of the gunman, Man Monis. Then we had just out of the 2 o'clock news, Sydney time, we saw a man running away from the scene, another hostage. Then we saw footage of a group of about 5 or 6 people running from the scene. And then within minutes, we saw gunfire. There was a lot of gunfire. And we just heard some rather dramatic scenes there. Then we saw at least one woman being carried away. Now we're seeing it would appear another person, or we're seeing at least paramedic teams in action, potentially with another injured person. Let's just bring up Channel 9.
It seems to be a large group of police are now exiting the building.
And that definitely didn't look like the perpetrator who was being taken away on the street.
This is Channel 9.
Looked like one of the hostages being taken away. So we can only hope and pray that person and that all of the hostages inside there are fine. We're just watching the police here now. There's another stretcher.
With a person on there.
This stretcher here just appears to have gear on it. Looks like it's going inside as we speak.
So what we're seeing cameras from obviously some distance from the actual scene of the Lindt Chocolate Cafe. Now, there has been footage of what I think is another hostage running from the scene with a police escort. So that would be another person. Now, we're seeing now footage of... look, I don't know if that's... Yeah, there is a person on that stretcher. Okay, so we're seeing on Sky News footage of an injured person being taken in a stretcher, an ambulance stretcher, obviously being assisted by paramedics. So we've seen that. We've seen one other person be carried by police rescue. We're seeing the footage now on Channel 9 of the moment that heavily armed police stormed this cafe after 17 hours. And we saw hostages run free as a result. Now, just repeating, we do not know if all of the hostages are out. We do not know if there are any hostages that have been seriously injured. And we certainly do not know the fate of the gunman, Man Monis. So this is just dramatic scenes, quite unbelievable in Sydney. It would appear that this hostage situation is now coming to its conclusion after 17 hours. We'll just bring back Channel 9.
Police have moved into position. They've decided to storm the cafe in light of what had happened over the preceding minute or two, which was the fact that 7 hostages came out, and obviously there were things going on inside. It appears as though they might have used a shotgun to blow the hinges off that big door. Then they've gone in, and the police have confirmed to us they've used live ammunition, they've used gunfire. They've gone in with gunfire, and then you can see the other tactical response officers throwing in like stun grenades, and you can hear them. They sound like gunfire, but they're stun grenades, and they are used to completely, totally, and utterly disorientate the perpetrator.
With the flashing lights and everything as well.
There's flashing lights, there's all sorts of things going on, and he wouldn't have known where he was. But disturbingly, since the storming of the Lindt Cafe, we've seen paramedics move in quite dramatically. We've seen at least one, possibly 2 people on a stretcher. We've definitely seen one lady on a stretcher, and it doesn't...
So that's Channel 9, continuing coverage here on 2UE, 4BC and our network stations. But just repeating that we've seen a group of hostages run from the Lindt Cafe. We do not know the fate of the gunman, Man Monis. We just do not know that current situation. We obviously expect there will be confirmations from police shortly. Now, we saw, as I mentioned, we saw a group of hostages. Then we also saw one man. We saw a woman being carried by police rescue. And we're just seeing that footage again. I did mention that to you, of another hostage, it would appear, with a police escort running from the scene. So, look, we just don't know how many. We don't know how many were in there in the first place. We never had that number confirmed by police. We were saying it was around the 15 mark. But just repeating, there has been significant gunfire at the Lindt Cafe. Police have stormed the Lindt Cafe in Sydney after this 17-hour siege. And it would appear that this siege may be coming to an end now, or has been brought to an end. Now, just repeating that at least one, maybe two, in fact, I'm going to say two, have been injured, because we're seeing that footage again of Sky News of a lady being carried by police rescue officers from the scene. Now, she's conscious, but she's being carried from the scene, away from the scene, so she's obviously injured. And then we saw another person on a stretcher being taken by paramedics from the scene. So we will wait to find out from police on the situation there. Now, as Leonie Ryan described for us, it was just a crazy situation, and she was describing people ducking for cover as this situation unfolded. And obviously you had the general public, about 200 people from the general public who've been waiting and watching this unfold, and they would have been pretty scared as they watched that. Now, we're seeing footage now of what appears to be a calmer situation, with the police just gathered around the scene. Okay, Laura Tunstall from Channel 9 is filing. Let's just go to Laura Tunstall, Channel 9.
The building light up as it was happening, and it died down again. We saw a lot of heavily armed police storming that building. It died down, and we heard more gunfire again. Just behind me now, I've seen a number of people being taken out of the building on stretchers.
That gunfire you're hearing is archive footage, by the way, not current.
That alarm is certainly still ringing behind me, but they definitely, that sense of urgency appears to have dissipated for them.
Yeah, as she's saying there, it does appear to be a much calmer situation now with the police situation. Okay, what we've got to do is we've got to take a break. We'll come back, we'll collect our thoughts, see where we're at, but it would appear that this Lindt Cafe Siege, after 17 hours, is reaching its conclusion.
Not everyone in life has a good beginning. Not all children grow up in an environment of love and security. Not everyone has the best chance to live, learn, and to grow.
Good Beginnings is a national charity providing early intervention and practical parenting programs for children and their families, so that all Australian children can grow up safe, happy and healthy. Find out more at goodbeginnings.org.au.
Great mealer deals from Winning Appliances. Hurry in store today and save up to $300 on selected Miele G6000 series dishwashers, now from $1,499. This offer must end 4th of January 2015 and is strictly while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. See the full Miele range in action at Winning Appliances, Brookvale, Crows Nest, Narello, Northmead, Redfern and Tarrant Point, or visit our website at winningappliances.com.au.
Steve used to be called a hobby farmer. Now he's got a Deere from Farm and Turf Equipment. John Deere makes the best compact tractors and utility vehicles. Steve knew that, but he didn't know he could afford one until he talked to Farm and Turf Equipment. Now Steve works his land, his farm, his acreage, and no one calls it a hobby. For the full range of John Deere tractors and gators at seriously low prices, Google Farm and Turf Equipment today, because nothing runs like a Deere.
The Hyundai iSale is on for a strictly limited time. Right now, we're offering fantastic drive-away deals on a range of award-winning cars, plus free automatic on selected models. And what's more, no deposit, no repayments until 2016. But be quick, the Hyundai iSale ends December 31. So visit your local Hyundai dealer today.
Finance to approved applicants for a limited time only. Interest is calculated from settlement date of the fixed rate loan. Credit criteria, conditions, fees and charges apply.
They say Christmas only comes once a year, but at the Lounge Suite Warehouse, it comes twice. The Lounge Suite Warehouse Christmas sale is on again. All the levels of beautiful, new, top-quality furniture, that's 3 levels, bedding and factory seconds, all selling at crazy Christmas prices, and they are ready to take home today. So you can come in and save again during what is the second Christmas sale. It's on now until December 24, Christmas Eve, at the Lounge Suite Warehouse, 10 Harris Street, North St Mary's. They're open 7 days.
New Day Australia on 2UE for the Sleep Doctor Campbelltown, Sydney's largest range of electric adjustable beds.
All right, well, incredible scenes in Sydney as we continue to watch the footage of these hostages who've run from the scene at the Lindt Cafe. It would appear that the siege is over, but we have no news on the fate of the gunman, Man Monis. Now, we did see paramedics leave with someone on a stretcher. Now, we have no idea if that was the gunman or a hostage. We did see another hostage being carried away by police rescue officers. It does appear that the situation now is a lot calmer in the Sydney CBD. There was moments there. It was unbelievable scenes for a moment there where we had gunfire going off. You could see the flashes going off as police raided it. It was quite unbelievable. But it would appear now that this siege is reaching its conclusion, and we are now just awaiting to hear the fate of the gunman and all of the hostages. More importantly, the hostages. We need to know exactly what has happened there. We did see a bunch of people run from the scene. A bunch of hostages run from the scene. Now we're seeing some new vision now on Channel 9. I'll just describe it for you. This vision is of paramedics and police. Now maybe we've got it looks like we've got an injured police officer. He's walking though, but he's got a looks like some sort of bandage to his head there. So maybe an injured police officer, but as I say, he was walking from that scene. So we're just seeing more footage now of the situation when the hostages first ran, and it was that group of hostages and the one man. It was quite unbelievable to watch all of this. Now, we still don't know the situation. We don't know when the gunfire happened, if it was all police or if there was some sort of shootout. We just don't know at the moment, and we are waiting to find out. Now, both Nine and Sky News are reporting that it's 11 hostages who've either escaped or rescued. That would include the 5 from earlier, but it might be more than that. I'm not sure. What I think we can surmise is that there are no more. I wouldn't think that there are any more hostages inside, because the situation now appears to have calmed with police. It would seem that way anyway. All right, we'll continue to watch this unfold. We'll go to the phones, though, and Benedict's online. Hi, Benedict.
Hello, Troy. I'm really flabbergasted by how this gentleman, he was accused of crimes, so I'm not saying he did those earlier crimes.
Yeah, sure.
But he had 40 sexual crimes alleged against him, and he was allegedly an accessory after the fact or before the fact to the murder of a partner or a wife.
Yeah, that's right. That's in Warrington in Western Sydney, as being before and after the fact, and he's out on bail on that case. Look, that's going to be the big debate, isn't it, over the next few days? Because bail, is supposed to be designed. You're not supposed to, be out on bail if you're a danger to the community. And well, this is more than a danger to the community. What's happened today, isn't it?
Well, this is profound.
Yeah,
this is absolutely profound, and I just find it tragic that this has had to come before we have this conversation again, because this has been going on for years and years, particularly with sexual and violent crimes. If you steal something from the supermarket, that's very different. But the other point I wanted to touch on was I think that Australia, we have a very good immigration system in many ways. We have a very good refugee intake system, but it's pretty clear that there's a 3 to 5% minority of people who we will accept on humanitarian grounds who are going to cause problems. And I think we really need to be aware of the fact that there are going to be damaged people who come to this country, and what we do to make sure that these incidents don't happen. Yeah,
Benedict, it is a debate, and it is a debate probably for another day. But thanks for your call. Let's go back to Leonie Ryan in the Sydney CBD. Leonie, can you shed any more light on what the current situation is there?
Hi, Troy. Yes, you can actually smell that gunfire in the air. It's slowly drifting towards the media pack. That's about 150 metres away from the Lindt Cafe. Now, we've got uniformed officers, at least half a dozen, that have now approached the media, not itself, but they're guarding that exclusion zone. Of course, we've got a large media pack here, as well as members of the public that were standing here cowering for cover, just absolutely shuddering when they heard those dozens of gunfire going off. Now, these police officers are standing near the police tape. I think they're just trying to ensure that members of the public just don't go beyond that police tape. But from what we can see here, no doubt this has been unfolding on TV. Just scores of paramedics with stretchers going in. So looking at the tactical police that have been stationed out there, no doubt they appeared on edge a few hours ago. They seem a bit more relaxed. So we're just hoping and praying that this operation is over and that these hostages haven't suffered any serious injuries.
And of course, we've got no news yet on the fate of the gunman.
No, not at this stage. And, of course, we're trying to get in contact with police. But I think until this situation is over and these hostages are taken away, that they will address the media. But, Troy, it's absolutely terrifying what we heard and what was unfolding just a few short minutes ago.
17 hours. It's a dramatic conclusion to it. The moment that those gunshots happened, you said that the members of the public they basically started ducking for cover.
Yeah, that's right, Troy. And I know myself, and I guess I would make the assumption that many members of the public that have been standing here for a number of hours have never heard gunshots in their lives, and I certainly haven't. And it just sent this chill through your body, and you just saw members of the public just shudder in reaction to this gunfire, and we all had it going through our heads. When is this gunfire going to end? And it just kept going, and the bangs kept going off. But it was just something I've never heard in my life. Members of the public just ran across and had their hands over their heads, not knowing what to expect, and they're certainly standing around now just trying to find out, as well as the media and myself, as to what actually transpired here.
So at the moment, we're just basically saying it seems to be a bit more of a calmer situation now. Police are standing around. It would appear that we'd think that there would be no more hostages actually inside the cafe.
I guess it would be safe to say that, Troy. As I mentioned earlier, tactical police are certainly not guarding those doors like they have been for the past few hours. They're certainly standing around the area, but they're certainly not on edge that they have been for the past few hours. So we're looking at the situation at the moment, and paramedics, no doubt, they've just gone into that cafe and tending to the needs of anyone that may have been hurt inside.
All right. Well, Leonie, thank you very much. Great job, and we'll talk to you more through the morning.
Thanks so much, Troy.
Leonie Ryan there, describing just quite a dramatic scene. Unbelievable. Now, we've got Sky News reporting that they've got confirmation from the New South Wales Police that the siege situation is over. So that's the word we've got. Now, we're also getting unconfirmed reports that one female... in fact, this is a very serious story that is coming through to us now. But one female, aged 70, sent to Royal Prince Alfred Hospital for a gunshot wound to the shoulder. That's the word we're getting. Unconfirmed at this stage, but reports that one female, aged 70, has been sent to RPA for a gunshot wound to the shoulder. Now, if that's the case, well, let's hope that that's the only injury out of this as far as the hostages is concerned. As we continue to monitor this situation. We'll take another break and come back with more. This is 2UE 4BC, network stations across Australia.
2UE News. A terrifying siege in the heart of Sydney CBD.
Everyone inside put their arms against the window, like hands up.
Gunman is holding dozens of people hostage.
People standing up against the doorway.
Bulletproof shields up, balaclava, helmet, weapons raised, aimed through the windows.
It's frightening.
They must be scared out of their minds.
Our thoughts and prayers go out to the individuals who are caught up in this.
We are being tested, but we will get through this.
On your city, your station, Sydney's 2UE.
Going, and sold to the shrewd property investor with a free ANZ Property Profile Report. Yes, ma'am, you clearly have the in-depth knowledge of the local area, including average rental yield, sales history, and suburb information. Congratulations on your clever investment and for being ANZ Buy Ready. It's the Property Investor's Edge. Search ANZ Buy Ready.
Normal credit criteria, terms and conditions apply. Estimates contained in the reports are based on public sales history only. Sales history and past performance is not indicative of future performance.
To be the best, you must be willing to go further. Commando Steve here. If you want to be the best personal trainer you can be, the Sage Institute of Fitness Diploma is the best out there. And now going further has never been closer with their new campus in Sydney. So what are you waiting for? You can study now, pay later with vet fee help. No excuses. Call Sage on 1300 664 664. A new breed of trainer for a new era in training.
Sage.
It starts with one certified local, the small business owner who thinks big, who thinks they can compete and win. And when one turns into many, they can. Butchers, bakers, grocers and more. Every day, the list of certified locals grows, as does their ability to offer incredible deals. 99 cents a litre for petrol is just the beginning. Sign up your business now and join the local revolution. Visit certifiedlocals.com.au today or call 1300 781 365.
If you're suffering from constipation, try Caruso's Intestinal Broom. The special fibres in Caruso's Intestinal Broom act like a sponge, helping to cleanse your bowels of unwanted waste. Plus, it comes with Caruso's money-back guarantee. Try Caruso's Intestinal Broom for only $21.99 from Chemist Warehouse. Always read the label, use only as directed. If symptoms persist, see your healthcare professional. Chemist Warehouse. You'll find them all over New South Wales at Chatswood Mall, Dee Why and Eastwood.
Yeah, 2UE, 4BC and network stations across Australia. Some incredible scenes in Sydney with the end of the Sydney Siege, and you heard it live as we came out of the weather and out of the 2 o'clock news. You heard that there was hostages that were running from the scene. Then you heard Leonie Ryan describing that gunfire that had erupted over Sydney. Now, just repeating that news we brought you, with one female aged 70, we understand that she's been sent to Royal Prince Alfred Hospital for a gunshot wound to the shoulder. That's the word that we are getting. We have no news yet on the fate of the gunman. No news yet on the fate of the gunman, who's been, of course, named as Man Monis, who was out on bail on a number of charges, including accessory to murder before and after the fact. Now we're now getting reports that at least 4 people have been injured as a result of this after the gunfire broke out. So we understand 4 people have been injured. That would include the 70-year-old. Now, as we described, we saw one person on a stretcher come out of the scene there. So that one person on a stretcher. We saw another lady. She was being helped by police rescue officers. So they're the 2 we saw, but we are getting reports now of 4 people who have been treated for injuries. Just repeating, no news yet on the fate of the gunman. So, look, just to take you through what has been an incredible 17 hours, this, of course, all started at 9:45 yesterday morning with the reports that were coming through that a man had held up the Lindt chocolate shop, the cafe there in the Sydney CBD at Martin Place. What ensued was a 17-hour siege. After a few hours, we saw 3 men escape the situation. Later, Chris Reason on Channel 7 revealed that he was able, once he was allowed to go back into the Channel 7 newsroom, he was able to go back and have a look at that footage, and he said that the gunman, who we now know is Man Monis, a 50-year-old, the gunman was very agitated when those 3 men escaped, so that would confirm it was definitely someone who had escaped, not being released. And then a little bit later in the afternoon yesterday, we saw 2 women run from the scene as well. And then, as I mentioned, just out of the weather at 2 a.m, so as approaching about an hour now, we saw this incredible situation with a man in a white shirt and jeans run from the scene. He put his hands in the air. He fell to the ground. 2 police officers came to him. They checked him over. They then helped him up and escorted him away. And then we saw a group of people, about 6 or 7 people, run from the scene with their hands up in the air. And we saw another situation with a young lady being assisted by police away. So that was probably a group of about 7, maybe 8 people. And then we had the 5 who'd already gotten out earlier. And of course, we saw dramatic gunfire there. A large amount of gunfire heard as police stormed that Lindt Cafe. Pretty incredible scenes in Sydney. And as Leonie Ryan was describing for us, just unbelievable. Like, it's 2:30 in the morning in Sydney and we're seeing this unfold. It is not the Sydney you expect. And Leonie was saying she's never experienced that before. Well, most of us haven't. Most of us haven't experienced gunfire going off around us. And she was saying that there was about still 200 people from the general public who were just still waiting around, and they was almost ducking for cover. Just repeating too, we told you that that lady, the 70-year-old, and the police officer as well. We told you that I could see some vision of a police officer. It looked like he was attending to a head injury. But he was walking, so it doesn't appear to be a serious injury, but a police officer is believed to be among those 4 who are injured in the situation there. What we might do is just take you to Channel 9 for a moment, because they're reporting live, obviously, from the scene. So I'll just take you to Channel 9 just for a moment.
Bomb uniforms, and they're obviously going to go in and check the facility as well. So there either is some sort of an IED or a bomb in there, or they're extremely worried there is. You can see them now going in, and they're fully suited up and kitted up.
We know that the bomb detection robot has already gone in there. That went in about 5 minutes ago, and now the 2 officers, it appears, in full bomb suits have gone in as well.
Yeah, we just can confirm that too. There is a bomb detection robot now inside the cafe. So, look, this is now going to start to shed some light on why, there was people saying, look, a sniper or whatnot, because he was a one lone wolf, you might say, this gunman, Man Monis, and people were saying, look, can't you get a sniper there or something like that? But it now appears that there are fears that there might have been a bomb in there. Now, at the moment, we believe that all of the hostages have survived this crisis. We don't have that confirmed. We certainly have no news yet from police on that. But we do have the word of at least 4 people injured, including that female aged 70 sent to RPA, we understand, for a gunshot wound to the shoulder. There is no word on the fate of the offender, Man Monis, who police basically said we could name about a little over an hour ago. Police said that we could now name him. But look, just incredible scenes in the Sydney CBD. We will take another break. If you are around there, or if you've been there throughout the day, feel free to give us a call. 13 13 32. And did you watch those scenes unfold live? How did you feel? 13 13 32.
2UE, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
We had this huge, long lunch, like lots of seafood, very Aussie, and then like a massive dessert. And then we all just lie on the couch, kind of recovering.
We always stay up till midnight on Christmas Eve.
I'll be a beach babe this Christmas.
My grandma always makes us sit around and watch the Queen's speech.
I'm spending Christmas on James Packer's yacht.
Wishing you a very Merry Christmas.
He doesn't know about it yet, but...
From all of us at Sydney's 2UE.
Merry Christmas!
954.
The ICC Cricket World Cup is coming to the SCG in 2015 with tickets on sale now. See Australia take on Sri Lanka, catch the West Indies, South Africa and England live in action. Plus secure your seats to the quarterfinal and semi-final. With adults from $20 and children from $5, it's your ticket to a great Christmas gift. Greatness is contagious. Get your tickets today at cricketworldcup.com. Ticket terms and conditions, purchase conditions and transaction fees apply.
HSC finished? What's next? Thinking about a rewarding career in the healthcare, aged or disability sectors? The Royal Rehab College is the only educational facility in Australia to offer the Diploma of Rehabilitation. The course can be fully funded, is vet accredited and nationally recognised, and it can be completed online, anywhere, anytime. Kickstart a career today. For key dates and enrolment information, visit royalrehabcollege.com.au.
Nothing tastes as good as homegrown. There's nothing like that homegrown flavor. Only the best to you from Rosella. Grown right here in Australia.
The classic barbecue accompaniment. Rosella tomato sauce.
Grown right here in Australia.
Are you spending this Christmas with an ageing parent? Anything different about them this year? How's their health? Any new concerns? Are they happy? If you notice changes in your parent this Christmas, visit aveo.com.au to see the range of services we can provide them at one of our 8 service department retirement villages in Sydney. Our retirement communities offer friendly, supportive living while still allowing your parent to maintain their independence. Visit aveo.com.au for more information.
New Day Australia on 2UE for the Sleep Doctor Campbelltown. Electric adjustable beds with free delivery Sydney-wide.
All right, so just repeating, the siege in Sydney's Martin Place appears to be over. After authorities stormed the Lindt Cafe, where up to 20 people were held hostage for more than 12 hours. In fact, it was more like 16 or 17 hours. The drama began at about 10 a.m. on Monday when a lone gunman entered the central Sydney cafe. It's ended in the last hour, shortly after several hostages ran from the premises. Their escape was followed by rapid gunfire as heavily armed police stormed the cafe in numbers. managing to release others. Police and paramedics entered the eatery and several people are believed to have been injured as we await more information. Now, we're just getting some word through here. Unconfirmed sources. Okay, this is obviously not good news. I stress this is unconfirmed, but we've got unconfirmed sources saying that 2 people may have been killed, and obviously we anticipate that one of them may be the gunman. We don't know that, but that is unconfirmed reports. But 2 people may have died in this incident, as everything is concluded here at Martin Place in Sydney. We do know that we had reports that one female aged 70 was sent to RPA for a gunshot wound. But just unbelievable. But it was a crazy ending to the situation. To be honest with you, it had been hours since we'd had a development. I'd been here, I don't know, maybe 3 hours before our show started at midnight Sydney time, and in that 3 hours, I don't think that there was one development at all. There was even any sign of a development. And then we had, just in a little while ago, we were able to name the gunman for you in Man Monis, and then within minutes, or within an hour of that, we had a range of situations unfolding with hostages running from the scene, and also, of course, we saw that rapid gunfire. But just repeating that news, and I stress it is unconfirmed, but unconfirmed sources saying that 2 people may have died as this tragedy has come to an end. Now, a New South Wales police officer believed to be among the injured. I saw footage of that incident there, and the police officer was nursing what appeared to be a head injury. But he was walking from the scene, so we believe that he may have been okay. Let's just bring up the Sky News coverage just for a moment. They're obviously continuing with rolling coverage throughout the night as we are. They've got some developments. Let's go to Sky.
Again, unconfirmed is that 4 people have been injured, possibly 1 police officer among them, and that regrettably 2 people have been killed in this incident.
Can we were discussing a little bit earlier about...
Okay, so that's Sky News also reporting the reports that 2 people may have died. Now, just getting news from Laura, our producer here, that and Leonie Ryan at the scene. In fact, let's go to... we will go to Leonie Ryan in just a moment, actually. We'll go to Leonie Ryan in just a moment. But apparently, actually, she's got a file for our news services. So what we'll do is we'll bring you details as soon as we get them. But, okay, what we understand is this. This is from Leonie Ryan. Apparently, the gunman was shot first. That's the word that we are getting. These are unconfirmed reports, but the gunman was shot first. A police source has said that okay. So what we're saying is that the gunman actually had shot first. Is that right? So the gunman had actually opened fire. All right. That's the unconfirmed reports that we're getting. So that might have been what sparked then the police action, and that might be why the police went in when they did. So obviously the police were waiting for this situation to take another turn, and it looks like it may have. So just repeating that news, the latest coming from the scene, and obviously this is all very raw and very fresh information. We do stress that, but reports, unconfirmed sources saying that 2 people may have died. Leonie Ryan, our reporter, is saying that the gunman had shot first, and a police source says that's why that the police went in, and then the gunman has been shot. So from what we're hearing, these are unconfirmed reports, but we may have the gunman may have died, and also a hostage. But we just got to confirm that, and we will go to Leonie obviously after the news at 3 o'clock Sydney time, 2 o'clock Brisbane time. What we do know is that this has come to an end. This tragedy obviously will be talked about throughout the morning, in the coming days and weeks, but we do know that the siege itself has come to an end. Now we just need to know how it has come to an end. But just repeating that news, Leonie Ryan telling us that the gunman had opened fire, and police saying that that's why they went in and opened fire themselves, and that the gunman was shot. So we're getting the report that the gunman has been shot, but we're also getting the report that he opened fire initially. So A crazy hour that we have just had. We need to take another break and then the news is coming up. It's Troy Dodds filling in for Luke Boner, 2UE, 4BC and network stations across Australia.
You may still be looking for the right home, but with 1300 Home Loan, you can get the right home loan right now. 1300 Home Loan will introduce you to local brokers with the local knowledge, ready to meet you to discuss your needs today. So when you finally find the right home, you'll already have the loan. Open the door to the right loan for you. Call 1300 Home Loan and arrange your obligation-free session today. That's 1300 466 356.
For premium steak and premium wine, 2UE recommends Osso.
Picture this, the cool, refreshing taste of an Eden Valley Riesling, the kick and caress of a rich, full-bodied Cabernet. Hi, I'm Clayton Jude, and that's just the taste of Osso's huge wine list, sourced from Australia and New Zealand, from little boutique wineries and celladors. Sound good? Tastes even better. Book your next lunch or dinner today at Osso, Penrith. Visit osso.com.au.
Digital Smile Design has the benefits of seeing what the issues are that perhaps they had no idea of.
Dr. Dunn, Principal Dentist, Macquarie Street Centre, Sydney.
And then them being educated as to, well, I'd like that, but what have I got to have done to achieve that? The most important thing is that rather than them having a concept in their head of what they may look like, that leap of faith is eliminated. There's no surprises.
Visit macquariestreetcentre.com.au and book your consultation today.
Have you been treated unfairly in a will? Or worse, have you been completely left out of a will? Strict time limits apply to dispute or contest a will, so don't miss out on what's rightfully yours. Call Turner Freeman Lawyers today for a free case assessment. Turner Freeman are will dispute experts. They'll make sure you get what you're entitled to. Ask about their no-win, no-fee policy. Call 1-800-800-088 today or visit unfairwills.com.au. Turner Freeman Lawyers. Great people, great results, great value.
Going, and sold to the shrewd property investor with a free ANZ Property Profile Report. Yes, ma'am, you clearly have the in-depth knowledge of the local area, including average rental yield, sales history and suburb information. Congratulations on your clever investment and for being ANZ Buy Ready. It's the property investor's edge. Search ANZ Buy Ready.
Normal credit criteria, terms and conditions apply. Estimates contained in the reports are based on public sales history only. Sales history and past performance is not indicative of future performance.
It is coming up to 3 o'clock in New South Wales and the ACT, coming up to 2 o'clock in Queensland, and the siege is over in Sydney. If you're just getting up or if you're just jumping in the car from elsewhere, it has been quite a dramatic hour. It is just unbelievable, and it is going to continue throughout the morning. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, there will be a police briefing soon on this tragic story that is unfolding in Sydney and continuing to unfold. Just repeating that we've got unconfirmed sources saying that 2 people may have died, including the gunman, but we still do not know any details yet of all of that. So we just need to wait for confirmation. But a police source has informed our reporter Leonie Ryan that the gunman shot first. That is why the police stormed the cafe, and the same source is saying that the gunman has been shot. So that is the news that we are getting. We did see, just before all of that unfolded, a bunch of hostages run from the scene. It was quite amazing to watch that footage live on TV. And just looking at some footage on Channel 9 now of, I don't think we've seen this footage before. It might be of the gunman. Actually, that might be the footage from earlier today. But all right, we'll wait and find out. We presume that the police are going to tell us more inside the next hour. We've got the news coming up, so Leonie Ryan will have a full report in the news, and then we'll speak to Leonie after the 3 o'clock news as this story continues to unfold on 2UE and 4BC and all of our network stations across Australia.
G'day, this is Eric Banner. Merry Christmas to all the 2UE listeners.
Hi, this is Michael Caton. I'm wishing all the 2UE listeners a very Merry Christmas.
That's what Christmas means to me, my love. Merry Christmas from all of us at Sydney's 2UE.
Good morning, I'm Catherine Firkin. The Sydney siege has ended in a hail of police gunfire. The scene at the Lindt Cafe in Martin Place had been quiet for many hours before a young male hostage ran from the building just after 2 a.m. He was followed soon after by a group of 5 more hostages before police moved in. Our reporter Leonie Ryan was there as police stormed the cafe.
We just heard gunfire. It was just absolutely terrifying to hear. You could actually see the gunfire illuminating inside of that building, just constantly going off, bang, 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 bang. And, you know, we had members of the public here that actually ducked for cover.
Paramedics are now working to treat injured people. It's not clear how many hostages were still inside when the gunfire began, but it has just been confirmed that 1 hostage is dead and the gunman has been shot. The hostage taker is now known to be a 50-year-old self-styled sheik, Man Haran Monis. Sydney Morning Herald crime editor Nick Ralston says he first came to the attention of police when he wrote poisonous letters to the family of dead Australian soldiers.
Monis appeared in the High Court last Friday where he failed in a last-bid attempt to get some of the charges currently against him dropped, and he was believed to have been very upset that that had occurred. He'd had a number of High Court challenges thrown out in recent years. He also was making a number of bizarre and sort of unusual posts on his personal website and via his Facebook in recent days.
To other news now, the Abbott government says it will not make any drastic budget cuts as it unveils a $40 billion deficit in its mid-year budget uptake. It's blamed a sharp fall in commodity prices as well as a stalemate in the Senate. There's also been a blowout in the cost of family tax benefits and the childcare rebate. Treasurer Joe Hockey says they have mapped out a pathway back to surplus.
We are the only people that have a plan on the table to get the budget back to surplus. We are the only political party that has a plan. We are rolling out that plan. You are seeing that the fiscal consolidation is continuing. It is credible.
Parts of Victoria will face the worst fire danger since February, with strong winds and high temperatures predicted for Tuesday. 5 of the 9 fire districts face total fire bans, while the fire danger rating in the Mallee and Northern Country is extreme. Police in Hong Kong have cleared the last of 3 sites set up by pro-democracy protesters in September. The BBC's John Sudworth reports.
With the main pro-democracy protest camp taken down in a large-scale police operation last week and another cleared last month, the number of protesters in Causeway Bay, always on the low side, had fallen further. But although it took the police just a few hours to remove the encampment blocking traffic along a busy shopping street, closing the 3rd and final site was nonetheless a symbolic moment. At their peak 2 months ago, the street occupations brought well over 100,000 protesters onto the streets with the aim of forcing Beijing to drop its veto over which candidates can stand in Hong Kong's leadership elections.
News across Australia.
A 2UE Sports Update.
Michael Clarke's return to play depends on how well he recovers from surgery. Cricket Australia has confirmed the skipper will undergo the knife later in a bid to fix his injured right hamstring. Meantime, Steve Smith says he's ready to lead Australia after being named to captain the Test side for the remainder of the series against India. The NRL says it's looking forward to more blockbusters in 2015 following the release of its new draw. Brisbane kicks the season off at home to Souths on Thursday the 6th of March, and Head of Marketing Paul Kine says there will be 5 games on the 100th anniversary of Anzac Day.
Obviously the commemoration of 100 years of Gallipoli and matches in New Zealand, Newcastle, Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane.
Essendon chairman Paul Little has told the club's annual general meeting he expects the AFL anti-doping hearing will run until late January. This is Fairfax Radio News.
When a child is diagnosed with cancer, Camp Quality creates a better quality of life for the whole family. We help remove their fears around treatment. We're all about building optimism and ensuring siblings don't get forgotten. We help classmates understand cancer. We even look after the little things when times get tough. Help Camp Quality give families a better quality of life when they really need it the most. To donate, please visit campquality.org.au today.
A magical Christmas lasts forever with a free Santa photo from Harvey Norman. Come in store this weekend and we'll take your photo with Santa for free. With a range of Santa photo packs to choose from, it's never been easier to share Christmas cheer with friends and family near and far. Christmas is all about giving, and Harvey Norman is giving you a free photo with Santa this weekend. Conditions apply. Limit 1 per family. Check with your local store for appearance times. And enjoy a magical Christmas.
Go, Harvey, go!
2UE Sydney weather.
Sydney today, a partly cloudy day, top temperature of 28 degrees, and it'll be 37 degrees in Penrith, the hot one in the west. In Brisbane, a sunny day, top temperature 31 degrees. In Bundaberg, sunny, 32 degrees. Cairns, a partly cloudy day, 33 degrees. In Mackay, 34 degrees and sunny. In the nation's capital, Canberra, a possible shower, windy, top temperature of 34 degrees.
Now on Sydney's 2UE, 4BC and stations across Australia. New Day Australia with Troy Dodds.
6 minutes past 3 in Sydney, and as we watch this siege come to an end and potentially a tragic end, let's go straight to Leonie Ryan, our 2UE reporter who has been witnessing all of this unfold. Leonie, good morning.
Good morning, Troy. Yeah, we certainly got the outcome that we wanted, but not what we expected. We're hearing reports, police sources have told Fairfax Radio that there's at least one hostage that is deceased. The gunman has been shot, and of course we reported on that earlier that was self-styled Sheikh Man Monis. We're hearing on the ground here that he has also been shot, and I'm also hearing from our police sources that this was a completely unplanned decision to storm that cafe. Apparently, Man Monis, the alleged gunman, apparently fired first. So tactical police, they made that decision to storm the cafe, and that's where we heard the volley of gunshots going off and those bullets just absolutely illuminating the inside of that darkened building.
Yeah, so this was about an hour ago now. Can you just go back and describe to us that moment, because it was unbelievable as you were describing it before as it was happening, the gunfire that just erupted in the Sydney CBD.
Yeah, that's right, Troy. It first started off where we had about 7 hostages that could be seen running from the Lindt Cafe. One of those men fell to the ground. We had tactical police with their weapons drawn and absolutely screaming. Now, we just made the assumption that negotiations were going to continue. We didn't know how many more hostages were being held up in the Lindt Cafe. And it would have been about 3 or 4 minutes later that all of a sudden we heard gunfire, just dozens of bullets going off. And we all looked at each other thinking, when is this gunfire going to end? It sounded like it was going on forever, and you just had members of the public here. You know, we've got scores of people standing near the media that would have no doubt that probably never heard gunfire in their lives, and their hands just flew to their heads, and they kind of ducked and tried to run for cover, not knowing what to expect from this situation. We heard that gunfire, there was a bit of silence, and then the gunfire went off again. The alarm of the building just started going off, and we saw police going in there and paramedics with their stretchers just racing there. That was just basically a hive of activity of emergency services running in and out of the cafe. But from what we're hearing, at least one hostage is dead. The gunman, alleged gunman, Man Monis, has been shot, and this operation, this decision to storm into the cafe this morning, completely unplanned, because apparently shots were fired at them first.
And what's the atmosphere like there now, Leonie, with is people, the general public, still gathered around as well?
Oh, absolutely. I guess there's a sense of some relief here that we're feeling on the scene by members of the public that this siege that's going for about 16 or 17 hours is finally over. But I guess you're just overwhelmed by a sense of a concern by those hostages that have been in there. We've seen a number of people taken out on stretchers. So this has really quickly turned to concern about the fate of those hostages that have been taken away to various hospitals across Sydney.
All right, now there's no word yet on any sort of police press conference or any confirmation that might be coming in that?
No, not at this stage, Troy. No doubt police will be looking to wrap up this situation. No doubt this crime scene will remain in place for some time yet because of what's unfolded. It's now turned into a critical investigation. So this crime scene will remain in place. But until, this situation where all the hostages have been taken out safely, will police give us an update. But we're still waiting on that. We're still waiting on word of that, but no doubt it'll be held at Police HQ in the coming hours.
Also, Leonie, we did hear at one stage that the bomb squad or potentially a bomb detection machine or robot was going into the Lindt Cafe. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that, Troy. I do apologise for that, but it's just really hard to see from the vantage point that we're at the moment because, you know, that machinery is quite small and we're quite obscured in where we're standing and what we can see. But all we could see is that just a hive of activity of police and a number of people running out of that building and the paramedics rushing to the scene. So I can't confirm that at this stage, Troy, that there was machinery brought in.
All right, no worries. All right, well, Leonie, thank you very much once again, and we'll hear from you through the morning.
Thanks so much, Troy.
Leonie Ryan there, the 2E reporter, breaking that news that it looks like one of the hostages has unfortunately lost their life in this tragedy, and we continue to watch the siege come to its conclusion. It has been quite a dramatic hour. It was around an hour ago, just a little over an hour ago now, that we saw a new fresh batch of hostages run from the scene and then incredible gunfire unfold. And we are now waiting on confirmation of these unconfirmed reports that two people have died, including one of the hostages and potentially one and the gunman. Sky News certainly reporting that the gunman is one of the two people killed. Leonie reporting definitely that the gunman was shot. We're also getting reports in that 3 people in total seriously injured. We know that 4 people were apparently injured, 3 of them though seriously, it would seem. So this is obviously an unfolding situation, and you will see different reports coming through, but we'll try and give you the most accurate information possible. What I can tell you is that that as all of this exploded in the last hour, quite literally, the world was watching. In the United States, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and a lot of other 24-hour news channels had already dedicated most of their Monday morning programming to coverage of the emergency. When the situation climaxed with the hostages fleeing and heavily armed authorities storming in, the world was certainly watching live. So there you go. And we do know as well that we're getting media calls here from major media outlets around the world as well, the BBC and Fox News, as they continue to chase this news up. But just repeating, if you've just joined us, the Sydney siege is over, but we don't know all of the details in relation to it being over, because we are still waiting on confirmation of unconfirmed reports that the gunman has been shot and killed, but also that a hostage has been shot and killed. Leonie Ryan confirmed for us a short time ago that it did seem that the situation reached its climax because the gunman opened fire. It was certainly unplanned for the police to go in there when they did. So that's the word coming through to us from the centre of Sydney at the moment. It's been a big 3.25 hours now since we started coverage here at midnight. We focused totally on this. We are keen to hear from you as well. If you watched all of that unfold, what your thoughts were. It was hard in your mouth stuff, no doubt about that. 13 13 32 is the number. You can also, of course, jump onto 2ue.com.au and click onto the feedback icon, or you can also SMS us through 19954 954. But this will continue to unfold throughout the morning, and we will wait for more details, of course, of a potential press conference that we imagine will be coming from police shortly. Okay, now also just off this story, just for a quick moment, a man has been killed after being hit by a truck in Sydney's west. The 21-year-old died at the scene after he was hit by a northbound semi-trailer on the M7 at Eastern Creek, about 100 metres north of Angus Creek. This happened late last night. The driver of the truck was not injured. He's undergone mandatory blood and urine tests following the crash. So a tragic situation in Sydney's west with a 21-year-old being killed after being hit by a truck on the M7. Well, look, it's certainly been an eventful morning, and it's been an eventful hour or so. And we will continue to bring you coverage of this situation. Now, we're seeing some footage just on Channel 9. We might bring Channel 9 up of of what appears to be the police rescue and paramedics assisting. Let's just go to Channel 9.
For the moment, with pictures of police storming the Lindt Cafe and opening fire.
This is the gunfire that happened about an hour ago. Yeah, that is the gunfire from about an hour ago. Quite unbelievable. And just repeating as well that we did name Man Monis as the gunman. We named him probably about an hour and a half ago now after police said it was okay to do that. So most of the media knew throughout the afternoon that he was involved and he has got form. And now we wait to find out if he has lost his life in this tragedy that has unfolded over the last 17 hours or so. Man Monis has held the city to ransom for the last 17 hours or so, but it has all now come to an end. So just repeating what we do know, unconfirmed reports that 2 people have died, including the gunman, Man Monis, and a hostage. Police sources have told 2UE that the gunman shot first, and that's why the police stormed the cafe, and the same sources told us that the gunman has been shot as well. This is the end of a 17-hour siege in the Sydney CBD, which started in the very early hours of yesterday, around 9:45 in the morning, and has gone right through until 3 o'clock this morning in Sydney. Quite unbelievable. 13 13 32. If you'd like to join us, have your say on all of this and what you think about it, and what you think of the conclusion if you were watching it all live on TV. As I said, it was hard in your mouth stuff. It was very hard to watch. But just repeating that New South Wales Police have confirmed that the siege at the Lindt Cafe in the Sydney CBD is over.
Is your pet unwell? At the Animal Referral Hospital or ARH,